Hi guys, welcome to Ants Subang. In today's video, I will be bringing you again, the Ants Subang tips. But before I go on, I should mention that it took me a lot of practice and experience for this Ants Subang tip to work. It will take you a lot of practice, mostly to be mentally ready, be calm, cool, and collected. You can be a seasoned ant keeper, but till this day, I still find this challenging at times. The reason for this is, it is one of the challenges every ant keeper faces, and has been the most common questions asked of me from my fellow ant keepers. How do I feed the ants in the test tube? The easiest answer is, remove the cotton and stick the food in and close it back up. It sounds easy, doesn't it? But what happens if you face many delinquent ants that wants to escape every time you open up the test tube? Hence this Ants Subang tip video is here to help you. Remember to be calm, cool and collected? You should keep these in mind right now. So, let us begin the video. Before I start feeding the ants, I always prepare a towel, as big as you can find it, and as fluffy as you can get them. Especially with smooth long fiber threads made of cotton. I use this as a base for all my ants' test tube feeding process. It has many benefits. Firstly, it prevents the test tube from rolling around. Secondly, reduces vibration so that it won't spook the ants. Thirdly, when the ants do escape, they couldn't walk as fast like they would on a flat surface. The last point is the most important feature of the fluffy towel. When you do get the ants back into the test tube, you won't hurt them. You will get what I mean when we watch on. You should prepare the ants' food in advance, like a buffet line complete with food and drinks. Here, I have cut up the superworm and drip a small drop of honey water. If you want to know how to make this DIY feeding tray, click the iCard on the top right of your screen when you finish this video. I will feed a few ants colonies just to show you some other scenarios that will happen when you face escaping ants. Are you still calm, cool and collected? As you can see here, there is already a food tray from the previous feeding. Let's remove it and give them the fresh food. It seems like they don't realize it's feeding time. That is the one use for the fluffy towel, prevents test tube from rolling and reduces vibration. Let's get them excited so that I can show you what to do if they do come out from the test tube. One thing you should keep in mind that, ants leaves pheromone trails whenever they are in a new environment. They don't go far, and they will always walk back to trace their steps. So we use this to our advantage. Slowly coax it back to the test tube and close it. Remember what I said about them leaving pheromone trail and backtracking their steps. This is a good example of that. Place the food tray in, wait and watch. They will return within the test tube entrance. That is the time you gently nudge it back in. Wait and observe the ants that went furthest away. Eventually it will walk back by tracing its pheromone scent. Try to make it walk on your hand or your tweezer and bring it closer to the test tube. Then making it walk on the towel is the easiest way to get it back into the test tube. Being calm, cool and collected plays a huge part of making this to work. I cannot stress this enough. Being panicky and anxious will make any feeding situation worse and different from what you see here. Now that you understand the characteristics and traits of an ant, the following should already make more sense to you. As soon as you open the cotton, there is multiple escapees this time. Always collect those that are nearest to the test tube entrance first. Gently nudge and scoop them into the test tube, covering it while you get the one that went furthest away. This is another point, why you need a big wide towel. It makes scooping them up easier. Here's another way to get the ants back into the test tube. The cupping method. How to do this is, grab the test tube on one hand and the other with a cotton, follow and predict where the ants are heading. Then gently come together in a cupping motion. You can reduce some steps here, sometimes it's all about timing and what you should do to greatly reduce the number of ants coming out. Here, I use the slide-in method. This will only work if you have this long thread fiber towel. Hold the test tube and casually slide the feeder tray in. Also, do not be afraid to get the ants on your hands, as I find it more convenient for me to get them to walk the direction I want it to. What about the smaller ants? Let us take Crematogaster for example. This species, if undisturbed, they will remain dorsal. The slightest sudden movement will cause them to dance and swarm. The important part here is not to agitate them. Be as cool, as calm as collected as possible. Slowly remove the existing feeding tray within the test tube. Do not worry about the ants on it, we will deal with them later. You want to remove the feeder tray as fast as you can and replace it with the new feed. Now, close the cotton back slowly, as though nothing had happened. Now for the ants that are on the tray. I'm trying to get the ants to fall onto the towel, where I will be using the cupping method, particularly useful to deal with smaller ants. I will show you what happens if you do mistakenly agitate them. In this condition, feeding them will be impossible until they have settled down. Opening the cotton now will be disastrous. It will lead to a different kind of Ants Subang Tip video. I pray, I don't have to make it. We have reached the end of the video. Again, I hope you have gained a little know-how to feeding ants colony and test tube setup. It will be great if you did. Be calm, be cool, and be collected. Thanks for watching, Ants Subang.